Olivia.
I'm Pablo.
I'm Ann.
And behind the camera is Cece.
And we are a group from Johnson County Community College. We did a project over stomach cancer for pathophysiology.
We're going to talk to you guys about the electrolyte imbalances that come with that and dietary interventions.
We will be covering hypomagnesium, hypocalcemia, hyperkalemia, and hyponatremia.
We hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Yeah, and on this portion of the project, I'll be talking about hypomagnesium. And to kind of tell you what it is, hypomagnesium is low magnesium levels in the body that are caused by a combination of losses of urine and not getting enough magnesium in food. Not having the necessary amount of magnesium in the body can increase the risk of cancer development. This is due to the role that fatty acids have on the permeability and stability of membranes that leads to the loss of cells. Now, what is permeability? So, permeability is how fatty acids can go in and out of the cell membrane. And another way to manage hypomagnesium is a diet change, which is what we have here. We have a picture of leafy greens. And then we have another one for raw nuts and seeds. And consuming dark leafy organic greens such as spinach, collard greens, kale are one of the best ways to get magnesium into the body. Now, consuming them raw will preserve the magnesium in the greens. Also, buying organic is essential as organic foods are not subject to commercial fertilizers and synthetic pesticides that strip soil of magnesium. Now you're asking, what are commercial fertilizers? Those are what keeps the fruits and vegetables like good.
Nutrients.
Yeah. Thank you, Stacey. Also, organic soils are often higher in minerals. Organic raw nuts and seeds are another way to add magnesium to the diet. That will include pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, almonds, flax seeds, and those are just some of the nuts and seeds that contain magnesium. Now lastly, consuming sugar and processed foods take magnesium away from the body. And I know that when you're younger, all you want to eat is sugar, but you can't do that sometimes. What you can do is to replace sugar sodas with lemon-infused water. Or if you want to eat a chocolate or some candy, you can eat dark chocolate instead of like actual milk chocolate. And that way it will increase magnesium levels in the body.
Guys, it's Ann again. So we're going to be talking about hypocalcemia now. Hypocalcemia is a serious disorder in which the body doesn't have enough calcium. It can be long or short term. Calcium is important to the bodies because of bone and teeth formation and strength, muscle movement, blood clotting, and various neurological functions. If the body doesn't have enough calcium, then it will steal the calcium needed from the bones and teeth, making them weak and more likely to break or fall out. The greatness is that hypocalcemia can be treated and maintained with foods that are readily available at your local grocery store. Hypocalcemia is a concern with gastric cancer because the cancer can affect the absorption of calcium due to the cancer medications or issues with keeping the food down long enough to get the nutrients. One of the food groups that can help correct the issue of hypocalcemia is dairy products, right here. Milk, cheese, and yogurt all fall under this category and are great choices. Milk can be used with cooking, like when making mac and cheese. We use it when eating cereal, and we can even drink it straight. Yogurt is great because you can either eat it plain or add your favorite fruit to make it even more delicious and add some extra nutrients. If you're lactose intolerant, don't worry. There are food options available to you too. A lactose intolerant and vegetarian friendly food is tofu, right there. Tofu can be added to soups like miso, which is really good, or substitute meat in dishes. It's extremely versatile and easy to make. Just season it to add flavor when cooking, otherwise it doesn't really have much of a taste, and it's ready to go. Fish, pictured here, like sardines and canned salmon, are also great options. Both options have a lot of calcemia because the bones are still in the fish. It's safe to eat though, because they're extremely soft. They're pre-pressure cooked. You can't even tell they're there. My favorite food to make with canned salmon is salmon patties. It's just a can of salmon, an egg, crushed Cheez-Its, or your choice of breading. It's extremely easy and quick to make. Sardines come in many different flavors, and they don't need to be cooked. You just eat them right out of the can. Not everyone likes them, but they are worth a try. Some other foods like bread have calcium added to them to help people meet their calcium goals too. As your body corrects this imbalance, your bones and teeth will remain strong, the body will function better, and it will be able to store calcium in case there is ever a need for it. I've talked about just a few of the options when it comes to foods with calcium today. If you're interested in increasing your calcium intake or want to show more about foods that contain calcium, have a quick look at the back of the container of the foods right there, and it will show you how much calcium it has right at the bottom. Now we will switch over to Pablo to talk about another electrolyte imbalance, hyperkalemia.
Villegas. I'll be talking about hyperkalemia, or high levels of potassium in your body. Okay, hyperkalemia, so these high levels of potassium in your body, has many negative effects. Okay, when you have hyperkalemia, you have heart problems. You have an arrhythmia. You can have a slow heart rate. You can have weakness. Alongside of that, the causes that come with hyperkalemia can be antibiotics. It can be blood pressure medications. And more importantly, since we're talking about cancer, it'll be chemotherapy. It's a side effect of your chemotherapy. More specifically, with that chemotherapy, what causes you to have hyperkalemia is actually something called tumor lysis syndrome. And basically, when the chemotherapy affects your body, it makes all these tumors that we're trying to get rid of because they're cancerous go away. But when it does that, they end up lysing, which means they rupture, which means they dump everything that's inside of them out. What's usually in them, because they're cells, is potassium and a bunch of different other electrolytes. So since about 98% of the body's potassium is found within cells and only about 2% in the bloodstream, when those cells rupture, when all those tumors rupture, you're going to get all that dumped in your body, and that's where you're going to get elevated levels of potassium. Foods that are going to naturally help you fight hyperkalemia are just foods that are low in potassium. You need to stay away from anything that's high in potassium. And for example, I have some right here for you. We have apples. Then you can have all kinds. You can have Granny Smith. You can have the green ones that are sour. You can have normal red ones, sweet, or you can have Fuji apples. We can go on to blackberries, which are good antioxidants for your body. They're really good in shakes. And then we go on to blueberries. Blueberries, oh my gosh, the kitty. Sorry, it's a beautiful little kitty, but I'm just embarrassed to present that to you guys because my classmates picked that for me. And you know, I'm a guy, it's a little childish for me. But blueberries, they're beautiful, awesome, really good antioxidants. And then we have grapes. You can have all kinds of different kinds of grapes. You can have red ones, green ones, and the black ones. The green ones tend to be a little bit more sour, but any kind of grape is going to be low in potassium, so you don't really have to worry about it. Peaches, oh, look at that sweet little girl surrounded by peaches. You can have peach cobbler, all kinds of different peach type foods. It doesn't really matter. Pineapple's a really good one for you if you want to party with a pineapple. And then we're going to move on to pastas. Pastas are also extremely good for you. You can have lasagna. You can have different kinds of shells, stuffed shells, Alfredo. Any of these you can make at home with your family. They'll be really good with also keeping yourself happy with different types of foods. There's more and more lists that you can find out there, but now I'm going to turn it over to Cece with hyponatremia.
I did not introduce myself in the beginning of the video. I am Cece. I'm going to be talking about hyponatremia, which is simply low sodium in the body. The main function of sodium in the body at normal range is to maintain fluid balance and is necessary for muscle contraction. So when you're running or moving around, that is mainly what helps in your body and nerve function. So like when you're thinking, those little brain waves, sodium plays a big part in it. The main sodium deficiency in cancer patients is hyponatremia. It's usually like really low sodium in the body, which means you have too much fluid in the body, so which can place a lot of stress in the heart and other organs that are already working overtime since you already have cancer in your body. So you can imagine, like, say, having low sodium in the body places a lot of stress on your heart and other organs of your body that are already working overtime to accommodate the presence of cancer. Ways that we can treat this, or rather, you won't be able to really cure it. It's more of playing, making sure it doesn't get too bad. Would be the least one would be using water, where you would restrict how much water you're using in your body, or you're drinking, or the amount of fluids that you're drinking. So it would be more fluid restriction, and that would be something that the doctor would give you like a prescription for, or rather he would give you an order for, in order for you to know how much water you would need to drink or not drink, because already your body has low sodium, so you already have too much water in your body. Another way now would be the dietary considerations. There's not much dietary considerations when it comes to salt, but there's a few ways that you can help that. The first one would be using salt. Salt, we eat salt every day. It's in it. I think we all put salt in everything. Personally, I like to add salt in everything I eat. It makes it a little bit more tasty. But if you could reduce the amount of salt you eat, if you could add the amount of salt you eat, that would help bring up your sodium. But you have to be careful with that. So for something like that, a doctor's order say would be good. At least 2,000 milligrams of sodium per day is usually one of the normal orders a doctor will give. It is regarded as a high sodium diet, but you have to be careful with that. Another thing would be to use soy sauce. I know, most of us usually like eating Chinese food. One of the condiments that they usually put in the bag is usually soy sauce. Personally, I love soy sauce, and there's always different types of soy sauce. So whichever you like, just go to the store, get one, and add that to your diet. Another thing you can use is bouillon. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but yeah. It's a vegetable broth that normally when people are sick, they usually tend to eat that. It's not the best tasting thing, I would say, but it's another way to supplement for the sodium. And lastly, reading your labels is very important whenever it comes to any type of diet, because then you know what content you're putting into your body. And for sodium, if you go to the sodium content specifically, it will tell you how much you're eating, how much of the salt is in the said thing that you're about to purchase. So those are some of the ways you can help yourself to get your sodium levels up.
In conclusion, diet changes can help with effects of stomach cancer and electrolyte imbalances they cause, but remember, some of the foods can be contributing factors to stomach cancer. So in moderation, food can be used in preventative and maintenance measures. So that's all we got from Pablo Espinosa Villegas, Anna Eckley,
Cecilia Karuki.
and Cynthia Heredia.
Thank you. Have a